Um, I'm not a fan of the unlimited official visits. I mean, I think by the time official visits come around, guys, prospects got it narrowed down. They know the 3, 4, 5 schools. I mean, we had guys that signed with us that took one official visit or 2 official visits. And it gets tiresome, I think, for the players as well, taking official visits. And then if you're taking 10, you're missing days of school at some point and things like that as well. So I'm not a fan of that. That one kind of came out of nowhere. There wasn't a lot of discussion that we had as coaches or administrators about that one. And then some of the rules or changes to the rules of the game and things like that. Those are things that we, talked a little bit about. I guess it would have been back in February at SEC head coaches meetings in Birmingham. I don't think it's going to affect it too much as far as my role goes. I mean, it's still clock's still gonna stop in the last 2 minutes and all that as well. And that's really, from my standpoint, where you really become even more cognizant of the clock.
I know this will probably be a question to better ask you a year from now, but what have you started to learn about just the transfer portal, especially with the second one? I know we talked last week and you told us that you talked with the coaches out there at the golf tournament and how it's just new for you guys, but how has that gone, especially heading into the month of May?
Yeah, I think it's been good. I like the fact that the window in the springtime is smaller. It's not as long. December and January, those are 2 tough months because the transfer portal window is so big and you're balancing recruiting with high school kids or high school young men, getting ready for a bowl game, all kinds of stuff. Players making NFL decisions. There's a lot happening in December and January. This time of year is a little bit better just because it's less going on and the window's smaller, which I like as well. So still learning about it. I've learned that I like the smaller window. I know that's for sure. And then with the window in the spring, I really didn't think about it, but you going through spring practice now, you realize that you know more about your team coming out of spring practice. So you maybe have a little bit more targeted needs because you've been through spring practice and you know kind of where you may not be where you need to be from a depth standpoint.
I was just going on a little bit more outside of football right now, but the gambling stuff that's going on. I mean, is that something you guys have had any communication with the SEC with about of late, or I guess just generally speaking, is that something that comes up at least in preseason discussions?
Yeah, we haven't had any discussions from a SEC standpoint, and it's something that we always, from a university standpoint, try and be aware of, try and stay on top of, try and educate our guys throughout the school year, whether it be reminding coaches that we can't bet on the NCAA tournament when March Madness comes around. That's a pretty standard email that you get, and then just making your players aware of stuff. But anytime you see kind of what's going on across college athletics a little bit, it's a good reminder, that maybe we need to revisit this again with our guys.
When you look at, there's so many schools across the country. Guys will enter the portal, whatever. You'll have teams that will have 20-plus guys. For you guys to be in the situation that you are, you kind of look at it as, hey, we're doing a good job of being able to keep guys around. Obviously, guys will leave for different reasons.
Yeah, no, I do. It's you hate to see anybody leave, but you realize that it's inevitable. We're going to have guys, as long as I'm the head coach here, that are probably going to enter the portal after the season in December and then after the spring practice for whatever reason. And you just kind of understand that. You don't like it. I want everybody to have a great experience at Carolina and want to be here. And the thing that we try and do, Mike, is just in recruiting, be honest with them. They understand what they're getting into when they come to our program. They understand that it's going to be a lot of joy and we're going to have a lot of fun, but it's going to be really, really hard. It's not easy being a player in our program. And then if a guy leaves for whatever reason, whatever it may be, and every situation's different, you wish them well. We've got some guys that left our program after spring practice that I talked to yesterday, just trying to help them find somewhere. We had some guys that left after the season that, for different reasons, and wish them well. Don't spend a whole lot of time worrying about the ones that aren't in the program. I got 120 players on the team. We have 120 players on the team, and if we lose 3 or 4 like we did after last season or whatever it was, that means I got 116 other guys that feel pretty dang good about what we're doing as a football program, and I tend to focus on that. So